Hello, my name's Ksantikara and I live here at Astana. And in this short video, I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the mindfulness of breathing. So the mindfulness of breathing is about becoming aware of our breath. In a sense, the clue's in the name. The mindfulness of breathing, we bring mindfulness to our breath. And in the mindfulness of breathing, the breath acts as an anchor for the meditation. And we need to be careful that we don't have an idea of our breath. We just come into the felt experience of our body, notice the breath, and we use that as the anchor in the mindfulness of breathing. And what's wonderful about the breath is that it's always there. The breath is always there. So by learning the mindfulness of breathing, you're learning a meditation practice you can do anywhere. You could pause your day at work and do a period of the mindfulness of breathing. You can start your day with the mindfulness of breathing. You can end your day with the mindfulness of breathing. You don't need anything in particular to do it. And what's also really good about the breath, one of the reasons this mindfulness of breathing practice has been passed down to us through the centuries, is that the breath is obvious enough that we can place our attention on it. If I asked you now to notice the fact that you're breathing, you would be able to do that. But it's also subtle enough that it can take our minds into a calmer, quieter state of being. We live very busy lives, and becoming aware of the breath, sitting still and doing the mindfulness of breathing can really change the pace of our day and change the way we relate to the world. So the mindfulness of breathing is in 4 stages. In the first stage, we're aware of the out-breath, and in the second stage, we're aware of the in-breath. And one thing we can do to help us gather awareness around the out-breath and then the in-breath is to use numbers. We can place a number at the end of each out-breath. The breath comes in and out, 1. In and out, 2. Counting to 10 and then starting again at 1. And so it's really important to note that it's not about the counting. What we're noticing is the out-breath. So the breath comes in, we notice the out-breath, 1. The breath comes in, we notice the out-breath, 2. And the other important thing to bear in mind is that we're not controlling the breath. So you just allow the breath to move at its natural pace and you mark it with a number. And what you'll probably find is that you get distracted. And so that's completely fine. In fact, it means that you're meditating. If you've got enough awareness to notice that your mind has drifted off, you're thinking about to-do lists, you're thinking about what you'd like for dinner, well, you're doing really well. And you just come back to the breath, come back to the experience of your body, and once again, start marking the out-breath with a number. And then in the second stage, we start noticing the in-breath. So you can place a number at the beginning of each in-breath. The breath comes in and out, and then we say 1, in and out, 2, in and out. So silently marking the start of each breath with a number. It's a subtle change from the first stage of the mindfulness of breathing to the second stage of the mindfulness of breathing. So I'd encourage you to get curious in that. Notice that subtle change from placing a number at the end of the out-breath to placing a number at the beginning of the in-breath. And then in the third stage, we leave the numbers behind. We've used the numbers to stabilize, to concentrate, to bring ourselves into awareness of our breath. And now we can leave them behind and just notice the full experience of the breath that comes in and out of our bodies. So we notice the breath come in and back out again. And after we've done that for a little while, we can move to the 4th and final stage of the mindfulness of breathing. Now, in the Buddhist tradition, we talk a lot about one-pointedness of mind. That's a feature of meditation, something we're moving towards or trying to develop. This one-pointedness of mind. It's not a tight, stiff, kind of energized, over kind of, this kind of gripping one-pointedness. It's a relaxed attention, a relaxed focus. And so in the 4th and final stage of the mindfulness of breathing, we do that by noticing where we first feel the breath enter the body. It will usually be the nose, the lips, or the back of the throat. And so you rest your attention there and notice those subtle sensations of the breath entering your body. So that's the mindfulness of breathing. It's a brief introduction to the mindfulness of breathing. And you can do this by following a guided meditation, or you can just sit down and allow these to unfold. You could set a timer for 20 minutes and allow these stages to unfold. Some people like to set a timer with kind of interval bells every 5 minutes to help you move on the stages. But yeah, I'd really encourage you to give the mindfulness of breathing a go.